What's up, screen printers? Ryan here with Texsource. Today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to line up screens. Obviously, everyone has their own method of lining up screens, but I'm just going to do a real quick tutorial show you guys. I have a two-color design here. It's not butt registration. It's not an underbase. It's just a simple two-color logo, quick and easy. Obviously, everyone has their own way of doing stuff. I like my certain way. So the first things first is to make sure you get a center line in your palettes. That as well. Everyone has a different palettes. You have square palettes. You have the palettes like this that are angled. So they're all different. So the main thing is getting a center line. Another important thing is don't have a ruler that is this big. This is all we have. We're out of our other ones. Don't have a large ruler. Have an easy one. Quick and easy. Center line of your palette. See here we got a 15-inch palette. We got a 7.5 mark here. We just made a few lines through the middle and drew one big line. With our T-square, we're able to make a straight line with that. Another thing is we came down 4 inches from the top of our neck. Some of the square palettes you would do it differently, but on this one I came down 4 inches from the top of the neck so that I would be able to line up my registration marks on the top, because typically with shirts you want to be at least 4 fingers down from the top of the neck, or 4 inches, either way. So first things first is to get the center line of your palette so that you can line your film positives on top. That's my way of doing it. Other people have other ways, but that's the simple way. Next, so I have two films, but my registration marks are the same on both, so I'm just going to use one film to line up my screens on top. I'll take my logo, make sure it's the right side up, set the reg marks on top of my lines. Again, I use a T-square to make sure that my lines would be straight. If you use just a regular ruler, you run into issues with not having straight lines. But simple as that. What is also important is for every screen printer to have a template on their CorelDRAW files, Adobe files, whatever you have, with registration marks. This allows you to drag and drop whatever artwork you have into those templates so that you can make sure that all of your logos will be even every single time, and you know to go to press the same way each time. So it's always great to have templates with registration marks for full chest, back prints, left chest logos, that sort of thing. So I took my one color. Again, I have my center marks on my palette. Next thing I'll do, bring my first screen over, pull it down, and you can see how it's off with my artwork below. And I'm also using Chroma Line emulsion. It's a lime green emulsion. So I'm loosening that. Now get as close as you can. Again, this is not a butt registration logo. This looks about right, so tighten my clamps down. Now some of the screen printers out there may not have registration or micro registration to loosen to be able to line up your art, but this press has it. I'm not going to use micro reg on this art, just for pure fact of some of the screen printers who don't have this luxury. You can see me eye it up by hand completely. So we'll get on top of it. We're going to pull it down, and we're pretty much spot on. It's a little bit off, but because again my logos are not touching each other, and I'm only maybe a millimeter off right here, if that. I know this is going to fall in perfectly center in the middle of that, as long as I line up my other registration marks with my other dots. Simple and easy. Line up the first screen. Make sure everything is tight. If you do have micro registration, make sure that if you do loosen it, make sure to tighten it, because I always forget to tighten mine back up, and I'll go to the next color, and then my first color is off. So I always make that mistake, but just make sure you tighten your reg marks up. Pull your next color over. This emulsion I'm using here is, I think this is our Pro Coat emulsion. So you can see that our off contact is way off. Let me fix that a little bit. And that was loose, so you can see how it's important to make sure all your registration marks are tightened down. All right, so we'll loosen our clamps, pull my next logo over. Again, it's easy when you have a template for registration marks. It allows you to pull these dots straight over top of the other one, line it up perfectly so you have no second guessing. Get it exact. Tighten down your clamps. Now sometimes when you tighten your clamps down, the logo will move a little bit. But this press holds a pretty tight registration. We're using a mock workhorse press, 6-color 4-station. So my off contact's a little bit off, so I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. So if you look on top of it, you can see how close, pretty much spot on. Again, this is not butt registration or line art. And you can see how it's pretty much all centered aligned there. And that is that. That's how simple it is to line up a 2-color logo without using registration. It's pretty simple with the screen printers who don't have the luxury of that. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page and also check out our webpage, screenprintingsupply.com. Thanks.